Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Capricorn December 24, 2021. You would have developed in an environment where possibly people have been more negative than usual. However, everything that they register as concerns would allow you to make everything much more readable to decide to walk away in some way and not get involved with those who would contaminate your energy. Pisces is the one that would help you focus in the best way. You would promote a new opportunity for change, just by thinking about it and in the best way for you. Good time for you to insist that everything has an absolute improvement. The crescent moon would help you take the discomfort of persistent routines and put you in a stormy situation. You would be on one of the best paths to your well-being, which means that, without a doubt, you would have done everything possible to feel compatible with those who you least thought to carry the party in peace. Today is a good time for everything to have an absolute improvement in these aspects. Therefore, you would let the sextile between the moon and Jupiter show the best of itself. There is a great force that seems to be working against you today, but remember that you have the power to achieve a positive result. Use this conflict to find a balance in an unstable situation and try not to stir the waters too much. You have a great fire within you today and your actions are very powerful. Consider looking for a way to channel your forces. You will be inclined to live your fantasies even more spontaneously. You will have great facilities to convince your circle of friends. It is the moment to reinforce your intimacy, to break your habits. The practical details of your daily life escape you. No need to go too fast, it would be worse. The dialogues with your collaborators give you food for thought, a better cohesion will be born. This day promises to be lively, even hectic if you don't respect the rules and if you don't put your heart into it. You especially need to stay calm if you want to avoid pitfalls and setbacks in love. You would feel at peace as long as you have seen that health would remain in you. After some incidents that would have occurred recently, you would finally be persistent in seeing you as soon as possible. A radical force that seems to be looking for trouble is ready to challenge your old values about how to get things done and what is most precious to you. The truth is that what you see as a problem is a growing pain that you must suffer as you move to the next step in your evolution. Change is often difficult. However, this is what you are being asked to do. Cold sweats, tachycardia, dizziness, tremors, you feel like you are going crazy and are afraid of collapsing at any moment. A native of the third decan, you live in fear. You may be suffering from panic attacks. You are not risking anything, but your morale may be affected. If so, try to reduce the sources of stress and consider a few days of rest. Before that, limit. You withdraw from a business that was supposed to be good but would ultimately prove useless. That is why it is important to make a record of what you want to do with your money, how to do it, and in what way. That is why the number 1 of the day would keep you in an extraordinary regency. A goal related to business or finance that is very important to you may require you to dedicate yourself almost exclusively to paper today. You are likely to be sucked into most of the day because expiration is approaching. Be careful, however, not to get caught up in your quest for perfection because you could stress yourself too much. Sometimes obsessive attention can get in the way of achieving your goal. Do not lose concentration, control your anxiety. You have the means to optimize your day. By spreading your work time over the 2 days and carefully assessing what can be pruned, you will only keep the essentials. Refocus on mandatory files. The influences of the day make you look back on the past. Make sure you think soundly if you decide to invest. The emotional implications are holding you back today. It is quite natural to question your ideas. You would contemplate being much more detailed, loving, and full of joy with your partner. You may not think so much that those details are valuable. But they would wear out as the days go by, and that is why you would stop insisting that you have to keep falling in love with your partner. All that would change suddenly when you realize that you have prosperity on your side with Pisces in the Regency. Even if those around you have not yet perceived your incredible sensuality, today they will not be able to avoid it. Your most instinctive side will not hesitate to express itself with unusual force. Your appeal will be almost inconceivable today. However, you must control your emotions so that they do not betray you. If you had an argument with your spouse and you thought you would use the day to pick up the pieces, your plans may be called into question by the proximity of Pluto in your sky. You will thus be subjected to its harmful influence throughout the day, and the situation will not be ideal for resolving the conflict between you. Perhaps prefer to wait for a more favorable climate to try to re-establish the dialogue, because the dispositions of the stars towards you today do not suggest a satisfactory outcome. Few times could you feel that you have everything in prosperity if it were not for some people put some blocks that would make you lose yourself in anger, but for that not to happen, you would reveal your best talent to be indifferent to the case. With the crescent moon, everything would be suddenly well. You may not feel like going out much today, but don't be surprised if others come to you. There are intense and fascinating conversations in the air, and you can learn a lot, perhaps in spiritual or metaphysical aspects. You may also want to undertake some kind of artistic or creative project. Your levels of inspiration and imagination are very high. Take advantage of them. The moon in your sky takes you on a journey through time. This welcome homecoming brings knowledge of the past back to your life. You who are used to looking ahead will nevertheless be professionally propelled by an old acquaintance. Enough to take a new turn and perhaps consider going back to your roots in the long term. A move in the wake is probably not excluded. You seem ready to make a pretty radical change. You feel pushed aside by your best friends. Your imagination is playing tricks on you. Do not react too quickly out of anger or anxiety. Talking is always the best solution in this kind of situation. In your home, it is not great form either. You keep everything to yourself and it weighs on you. Talk about your problems and feelings. Those around you will help you find the solutions you need to rebond the strong bonds that unite you.